This is why people are attacking you, because they think that you're hustling them. And I know you to be a man who wants the best for his people. I know you to be a man who loves his people. Nobody would spend as much time and compassion on a Saturday morning in his home telling people, not just me, but thousands of people, what they need to do to navigate the system. The only thing I've ever seen that's come close to that was in The Incredibles, where Mr. Incredible was telling the little old lady how to get the insurance to pay them. You have literally been giving the keys to the kingdom of how people need to navigate the education system for years. So I don't think your heart is in the wrong place. And no, I don't think you're a scammer. What I do think is that starting a business should not be something that's hard for you, even if you need to scale your business. Do me a favor right now. Shoot me a DM on Instagram with the word coach at @TheBusinessBully, and we'll see what we can make happen for you. This one really bothered me on so many levels. I literally had 10 people ask me about this, and I have tried to stay away from this because I'm a bit conflicted. I've talked about it before, but I want to be very, very clear about this. Because you asked, I'm going to be the person to say the thing that nobody wants to say. Let's talk about Dr. Umar. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's just lay it all out. The first thing I will say, when it comes to him being a school psychologist, the man is second to none. As a father of a child who was in the public school system, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I did not reach out to Dr. Umar when it came to what was happening with my baby's IEP, autism, all of those things. And his advice, his scholarly knowledge, his ability to understand how to navigate this system that is set up to make a crap ton of money off of our babies not getting any better or not being able to learn efficiently or effectively in a school system that wasn't designed to provide freedom in the first place is second to none and should never be challenged. His ability as an orator is really dope. I can believe, even though I don't know where the ranking system comes from, that he probably is the most requested scholar in the world. I don't know for sure how to quantify that, but in my opinion, I love to listen to this man speak. I think he's phenomenal. It is with great trepidation and with graver concern that we have to ask the question. And the question is, what's going on with the school? Not where is the school, because we know where the school is. The school is here in Delaware. We know that there is a building called FDMG. We understand that. And while I'm not going to treat this as some type of evil expose, because I need that brother to win, because as a person who went through the public school system, as a person that has taught on the collegiate level, and as a person who has had a child with special needs deal with what comes with the school district, and having a child that does not have special needs dealing with what's coming to the school district. Though I have daughters, I understand the importance of young Black men being trained correctly. The problem is, since at least 2013, if you look here, Dr. Umar has been promising that a school was coming. And yes, there has been a building. And what most people will say is, well, Dave, you do realize it takes a lot to start a school. Yes, absolutely it does. There's all types of permissions and clearances and things that you have to do, and you got to meet with municipalities, and there's taxing. I'm not some boo-boo off the street. You know, I'm not what some YouTubian beta male simp man Johnny referred to as a hotep. Like, I get business. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but when I'm not here, I'm called the business bully because I'm an entrepreneur. I help other Black people build businesses. So I understand all of that. That's not what's lost on me. The problem then becomes when people ask about the school, a few things tend to happen. One, the question gets diverted and says, oh, well, you know, we got this block party coming up, or we've got a festival coming up, or I'm going to stage a marriage with two people I'm not really married to. Those distractions make it look, not saying that he is, because I have no proof to say that he is, make it look like he's hiding something that is problematic. Then it was the HVAC. For a long time, we couldn't get the HVAC in. And then the thing that I think Dr. Umar needs to stop doing is telling Black people what they're not doing. When it comes to HVAC, I can't speak on that, but I did hear him say, this was probably March of 2024, that he couldn't find anybody to do the floors. Well, I happen to have a homeboy who is my contractor. He's a partner of mine. And I said, listen, I need you to reach out to Dr. Umar and give him one of the craziest deals you'd ever possibly give him in order to get these floors done, because I want to see this school open. I sent him down there. He met with Dr. Umar. Here's a picture they took. He hasn't heard from Dr. Umar since. I'm trying to understand why. You had somebody who I know for a fact can do the work, who would do the work cheaper than damn near anybody, because we believe in children. And unlike me, I have daughters. The contractor I sent to him has a son. We care about Black boys. Heck, in 2016, I started an organization called Black Boys Win, which is a supplementary education program to help Black boys get what they're not getting in school. So this isn't that nobody cares. The other part of that is, you shouldn't criticize what you don't contribute to. I have been a consistent contributor to Dr. Umar's school, and like everybody, I'll take my little money here and there and drop something off, because I don't think, just like with the political process, if you don't vote, you can't bitch or complain about what's happening with the people that other people voted in or didn't vote or participate in the electoral process at all. As a person who has contributed, and there are plenty of other donors and people who have given gifts and donations in order to make this school happen, I think there's a level of transparency that Dr. Umar has not given, which makes him look suspect. The other question that people ask is, if in fact Dr. Umar is the #1 most requested scholar, then why doesn't he take some of those speaking engagement funds and close the gap? Because if you have a 501c3 nonprofit, you'll be able to write that off. You could literally loan that money to FDMG and then write it off anyway, if the loan defaults or not. But I don't know for sure why it hasn't happened. And people are saying, well, it takes so much time to do a school. That there's a young man named King Randall who has a program called the X for Boys. And to quote Obadiah Stane, he did it in a cave with a box of scraps. Nothing fancy, not the estimated $2.4 million allegedly that Umar has collected over the past decade and some change. Just grassroots, making it happen, doing things, showing young boys what could possibly be. The other reason that people have so much pause is because the reaction that sometimes Dr. Umar will give to someone who will ask the question about where the school is, why it's taking so long, so on and so forth. To tell a young man who says, hey, you started this when I was 12 and now I'm grown and the school is still not here, and to call him out of his name or just dismiss him or say he's a hater or he's stupid or he needs to change his mustache or whatever the case may be, doesn't do anybody any favors, and it just makes you look like you're deflecting. It makes you look like you can't legitimately show people what is happening. It's not an unreasonable or an unfortunate or a disrespectful ask to say, hey, Dr. Umar, what's up with the update? Not a block party, not a staged wedding, not a fashion show, not some vendors, not you double fisting 2 boba teas from the local boba tea spot that's Black owned and operated. None of that. Not you sitting in a polo hoodie on somebody's stage talking about how nobody's believing in you and they're haters and everybody wants to sit up there and my lawyers are going to start getting people. No. If it were me and I was coaching you or advising you, I would send my lawyers to make sure that you could get everything on the up and up and then give people an accounting of what is actually happening and when it's going to happen. On top of that, if I were you, I would say, you know what? Here's the curriculum that we're going to have. And this is going to be the start date. But Dr. Dre's long-awaited Detox album is going to drop before the school comes out, because that's what it seems like. There's no curriculum. We can't really point to anybody who says, I have been hired to teach at Dr. Umar's school, because it's a mathematical impossibility, as talented as you are, for you to be able to teach all of these classes. And no one has come forward and said, I have signed on, and I've gotten a guarantee of this amount to teach at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy for boys. None of that has happened. So we don't have any curriculum. We don't have any floors. We don't have any date, but we do have a boarded up building that has had a nice fresh coat of paint on it. This is why people are attacking you, because they think that you're hustling them. And I know you to be a man who wants the best for his people. I know you to be a man who loves his people. Nobody would spend as much time and compassion on a Saturday morning in his home telling people, not just me, but thousands of people, what they need to do to navigate the system. The only thing I've ever seen that's come close to that was in The Incredibles, where Mr. Incredible was telling the little old lady how to get the insurance to pay them. You have literally been giving the keys to the kingdom of how people need to navigate the education system for years. So I don't think your heart is in the wrong place. And no, I don't think you're a scammer. What I do think is that you're in over your head and you don't know how to say the three most freeing words that any black man can say to his constituency. And that's, I need help. Because what it seems like all you have said is, I got this, spattered in with some insults and a couple of, YouTubian big male simps and haters and coons and, everybody who says anything other than Dr. Umar walks on water and heals palsy children is somehow an Umar hater. When the truth of the matter is, there's a lot of us who have money on the fact that we need you to win and we need this school to happen. And we know that there's a building there, but we don't have an open date that has not been moved at least 15 times. We don't have anything tangible to show. And the other part of that, if people are going to pay a tuition to go to this school, how come you have not collected any application fees? How come you have not taken any down payments? Because those things would lead people to believe that if you did those things, take a tuition fee or a down payment, that you would have a solid date for opening. Until you can answer those and many other burning questions, people are going to look at you as just another dude who sat up here, had a really good idea and said, hey, give me these donations, give me these gifts. Because if you were all in on making the school happen, you wouldn't have time to get into verbal spats with D.L. Hughley. You wouldn't have time to be talking about how everybody's a beta male Scythian Tubian mangina who hates you. You wouldn't have time to be talking about, all of the beautiful butter pecan cinnamon twirl sisters and starting off a speech where you want to be taken seriously saying black queens forever, snow bunnies never. While I'm with you on the no snow bunny thing, I need you to understand that you're starting to become the worst thing a scholar could become. And that is, you are starting to become a meme. You've become the Undertaker for snow bunnies. You've become the person that people look at when they say black people who are doing dashiki hustles and selling waist beads and shea butter by the ton. You're not that. You're an educated, scholarly man who has a lot to offer the diaspora, specifically foundational black Americans, if in fact you could get your stuff together. And I pray that you do. And I pray that you have a legitimate, tangible answer for these and many other burning questions that black people have for you. But the truth of the matter is, Dr. Umar, I'm still rooting for you. I want you to win. I need you to win. I pray that you win. And if you need some help, I'm right here to help you, bro.